Yum, 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 yum. What's up? And welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Q. So when I'm not out taking photos, this is what I love to do. I love to cook because I love to eat. But anyway, today we're going to talk about cooking salmon with the skin on it. So I know a lot of people don't like to eat salmon with the skin on it, but after today, I'm going to show you how to cook your salmon with the skin on it, and you're going to love to eat the skin because the skin is going to be nice and crispy. So it's almost like my other video. So if you haven't seen my other video, go back and check out the other video on how to cook perfect salmon every time. And then this is almost a similar process. So this is cooking salmon with crispy skin. So this is what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this olive oil and we're gonna coat it in some olive oil. So I always do the first side, the flesh side. Get that olive oil on there, right? And as you can see, I got my seasonings that I like. So when I cook fish, I like to, when I cook my salmon, I like to keep it simple. I go with the basics, salt and pepper. We call this the triple threat, salt, pepper, and garlic pepper, all right? So, season yours any way you like, but this is just the three that I like on mine. So when I use salt, I only use one or two types of salt. I'm either using kosher salt or sea salt. That table salt, that ain't good for you. So kosher salt or sea salt is what I use. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, sprinkle some of this sea salt on here. We're gonna go with the sea salt today. Then take a little pepper, put some pepper on there. And I don't care how it goes on there because it's one thing that I always do when I season my fish or any other meat. I rub it in. That's just me. And it might come from cooking them ribs when I back when I was before the Daniel plan, when I was allowed to eat ribs, you know. Y'all remember ribs? No, I was kidding. But anyway, I like to rub it in. But anyway, so here's the side that's the important side. So now we're gonna flip it over to the skin side. All right, so the important thing about the skin side is you want to get it crispy, right? So what we're gonna do, so before I even put the seasoning on it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, put a little olive oil in this pan, right? And I put just a little more than I would if I was cooking just my regular salmon. I wouldn't want that much oil in there, but it's probably about 2 tablespoons of oil in there. I'm gonna turn this on over a medium heat so it can start getting hot, because I want this to already be hot when I put the salmon on it. All right, so here's the important part about the salmon. This is what you want to make sure you do. You want to put a little oil on this side, on this fish side, probably a little more than you put on the other side. And you want to kind of rub that oil in there, right? You want to try to rub it in a little bit because you're trying to get it between the scales, right? Now, always make sure that your salmon is clean. Hopefully, before this point, I clean mine. What I normally do when I get my fish, my salmon, is I normally get the whole, it's normally about 3 feet, or I mean not 3 feet, it's normally whatever size a salmon is, I don't know. But I get it, it's fillet, and then I cut it into sizes like this. And then I wash it, and then I freeze it until I want it. Then when it comes out of the freezer, I thaw it out and I wash it again. So make sure you wash your salmon off. So anyway, this is the secret part. So you want to take some salt. I normally pour a little salt in my hand, about that much. And you want to sprinkle this salt on the skin. And it looks like a lot, and it's probably a little more than I put on the front. But what I want to do is I want to get this this salt on here, and you want to rub it into the skin. Rub that salt into the skin. Trust me on this. Rub that salt. Take your time. You ain't in no hurry. You waiting on the oil to heat up anyway. So now I got salt all on my hand. Put a little more. And boy, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a treat. So you rub that salt into the skin. It's gonna have a little excess salt. And I know some of y'all saying, ooh, that's a lot of salt. Well, most of it dissolve and cook off because it don't stick to the skin because the skin is kind of hard. So rub it in there. All right, so I'm gonna wash my hands off right quick. I'm back. All right, so I got my hands washed off. Keep my area a little tidy as I possibly can. So now I got my salmon. I got both sides seasoned. And now we're just waiting on this grease to heat up. So come on over here. So as you can see, my grease is a little warm. Yep, it's getting a little warm. It's starting to smoke a little bit. Let me turn that down a little bit. So probably about a medium heat. So now, same principle applies. I'm gonna take my fish or my salmon and I'm gonna put it in and I'm gonna lay it away from it. And you should hear that sizzle. So right now, that salmon is gonna fry. And we're gonna wait for it to get a little ways up and get white. So here's the secret about the salmon. That layer of skin is protecting the flesh. So you can leave it in the pan a little while longer. So we're gonna let this stay in there about 5 to 6 minutes until that skin is crispy. Normally it'll be about 4 to 5 minutes, but this time we're gonna let it stay a little bit longer until that skin gets crispy. And then when this part right here gets a little crispy, get a little opaque, we're gonna take it, we're gonna flip it, we're gonna take it off the heat, we're gonna cover it, and then we're gonna push it back and let it sit for another 4 to 5 minutes. Now this is a little thicker piece of salmon, all right? Normally the salmon ain't this thick, but my salmon guy must have loved me and gave me a thick portion, so we're gonna let it cook a little bit. All right, so we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let that skin get crispy, and then we'll be back. Yo. All right, so now we back. So this has been cooking for about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. It's getting a little crispy, so let me show you what you're gonna do next. Let me turn this fan on. I turned the fan on. All right, this has been cooking about 4 or 5 minutes. I got smoke coming from my pan, and it's starting to get a little crispy under here. You know, if I can get up under here, come on, stop playing. So let me do this first. First thing I'm gonna do, because this is hot, you gotta be careful on this point. When I flip my salmon, I don't want all this oil on it, all right? So I'm gonna pour this oil out. Be careful. There we go. So now I'm gonna take this fish, flip it over. Woo! Look at the crispiness on that salmon right there. Now it's a little charred on that end, but it's not burnt. Nice and crispy. And right now it's cooking on the other side. So y'all know what we do. We're gonna take this, we're gonna turn it off, we're gonna cover it, push it to the back. I don't know why I push it back, the fire's off, but I just do it that way. Push it to the back and let it sit there about 4 or 5 minutes and let the magic happen for the other side. So I'm not gonna hold you on here for 4 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna show you what the skin look like, I'm gonna show you what that salmon look like, and we go eat. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's your boy. You think they noticed the #1 dad cut?
I made sure they did.
#1 dad. Some of y'all might be #2. This #1. Anyway, we waiting on this salmon to get finished. I just wanted to point that out. My son got this for me when he went to Washington, D.C. years ago, you know, but I still hold it tight. We'll be right back. So now we're back. So now it's time to check on the salmon. Let's check it out. Come on over, come on over. So it's been sitting here about 5 minutes. I let it sit a little longer because it was a thicker piece of salmon. So, woo, look at that, look at that, look at that. Some magic went on in there. So what I do differently here than I do with my other salmon is, normally I would flip it over and put it on my plate. But me, I want to leave this crispy side up this time. because of that's what we hear. This is a nice thick, you know what? Y'all didn't see this. Bam! I ain't going on no cooking show. I'm just doing this for y'all. Anyway, so now, let me get a fork. Get a napkin. Let me set this pot up. So what I'm gonna do now is come a little closer. Let me show you the skin. So we cooked it, and let me see if you can hear this. This skin is crispy. Now, it's not as crispy as when you flip it over. And so another method you can do is you can flip it over and you can put it in the oven and let it get crispy. But I like to put the lid back on it. But now, this skin flakes off. So if you ever had salmon skin on it, kind of pull off, it just kind of flakes off. And now, you can eat this skin. And when I tell you, there's a symphony going on up here. Crispy skin salmon. But what you can do is you can flake it up, flip it over, and you still have nice, flaky, juicy salmon. And look how it's coming off the skin. See how the skin, normally that skin, you had to get that fish off of there, but look how it's coming off that skin. And y'all know what part I love the most about these shows is somebody gotta taste it. It might as well be me. So me and this Daniel plan, we getting along, because if I can eat this, we good. So come here and check out this salmon. I mean the skin. So when you get to the skin, you could just fork a piece off. Let me scrape this off for you right here. You get to the skin, all you gotta do is take your fork. You can fork a piece off and just eat that skin. And I'm telling you, you can ask my videographer. Is it good down there?
Yes, sir.
You tell you, because we eats around here. But anyway, another episode with your boy. Salmon with the skin on it. You don't have to be afraid of it no more. You don't have to figure out how you're gonna cut it off. Just leave it on there and fry it up real good. So until next time, until I find something else to come up with to act like I know what I'm cooking, I get with you. And just remember, it's your boy, the Q, signing off. Peace.